There's a lot of little steps in between going from a mostly factory rifle like this 457 MTR to a full-on custom build. And the question becomes, is it really worth it? What do you gain? And what are the pros and cons? Now, the obvious answer is, when most people think about this, rebarrel rifle becomes more accurate. Well, there's a lot more to it than accuracy. And I'm not sure that just the raw accuracy gains are really the meat and potatoes here. So we're gonna take two CZ457s today, this basically stock MTR and this full-on custom build. We're gonna run the same scope with the trigger cam. We are gonna shoot this on a 50-yard KYL, some targets at 100 yards. Let's get into it. All right, so we're gonna start with the stock-ish CZ457 MTR. And I wanna be totally transparent. In the video, it's gonna bounce back and forth, but in reality, to make this easier on me, because we do have to swap the scope over because they are gonna stay the same, I'm gonna shoot everything with the MTR and then this. So if it gets a little weird, that's why I'm not hiding anything. It's just easier to film this way. Now, this is a factory 457 MTR barrel. Factory 457 MTR action. It does have a Timney trigger, and it's got some nice little doodads on here. We have the Victor Titan cheek rest. This is the sticky model. They sent me this to try out. We got the Haas and Shield, bag rider. We got the thumb ledge here, we'll call it. I've got an arc rail. Things that a lot of people are gonna do. And I did pick two random lots of Ely Team to shoot, and that may seem like I'm going to make this kind of easier on the custom gun, but I wanted to showcase the reality, and that is this may hammer this Ely Team ammunition at 50 yards, and it may shoot it well out here as we shoot. But generically speaking, rebarreling, stepping up to a new barrel, you're going to get more consistently good results. So they're gonna be less picky. Anyway, I think I got one chambered here. Let's just see where we're at. I'm shooting through the trigger cam here. Okay, we're just getting an idea of zero and how this shoots. Okay, boy, so far so good. And again, this is a Timney trigger, but it is set at like a factory pull weight. It is not very, very light. So this thing shoots pretty good. Honestly, I shot like 10 different ammos through this, and this may be the best. Go figure. All right, so we are 2/10 high. We're gonna come down. We're shooting the track toric. So let's just shoot at the top corner of this, see where we're at. That was a little low. Send one more. All right, so it's gonna be a hard act to follow. Well, it wasn't. I actually shot a group, forgot to record it on the downrange cam for you guys, but that was a group there, and then we moved up. So let's go just left of it here, and let's see how zeroed we are and how it's gonna shoot. Now, weight is gonna be a big deal. Both in PRS style shooting and off the bench, the rifle is just much easier to hold in position when the rifle weighs a lot. It settles really well. Small things like your heartbeat are not going to affect it. It's just gonna be a lot more of a dead rifle. And yeah, that didn't shoot quite as good as our initial group. You see we shot there. We made a correction for our point aim, point impact shot group. We'll check one up here. All right, so close enough. All right, so as we start getting on a bag for positional type shooting, there's probably gonna be some apparent differences. One, this is not gonna balance. This little MTR barrel, although it's bigger than most, it's not gonna balance. It's gonna be a lot on us. We're just gonna start here most of the way down. And you guys can just pay attention to the reticle mostly. How much reticle movement we do or don't have. All right, that might have been me, might have been the gun. Okay, 1/4 inch. Okay. I think we're just left. There we go. So we were just left. Send one more. Okay. So now that we kind of know the hold, now it's more about me and the gun. And as you can see, we can definitely get the job done. All right. All right, so on here, we're gonna shoot for that same KYL. We're gonna try and keep basically everything the same. We will need a magazine. The rifle's gonna be a heck of a lot more balanced. Now, I normally wouldn't have this big old trigger cam on the back. That's going to ruin my balance a little bit. But what we should see here is a more stable reticle system. Actually, I need to lower this. And speaking of lowering this, obviously when you step up, you're gonna get a lot more in the way of ergonomics. So I can adjust my cheek piece, my length of pull, all those things. I think we started here last time. And I am just ejecting empties. We're gonna go straight to the quarter. And hopefully it's coming through. That reticle is just a lot easier to stabilize. Barely nicked it there. And for whatever reason, in this rifle, I've played with extractors and ejectors, and I think it may, I don't know if it's the amount, but I spent a lot of time clearing empties out of this action lately. Like this, now it's just almost 3 or 4 in a row. Oddly enough, as I was shooting the R50, I lot tested for this, it wasn't doing that, but as you can see, much more stability off the bag, and just in general, it's just gonna be a more stable platform. All right, so here what we're gonna do is we're gonna do big, small move, make sure I got some ammo. And yeah, let's actually start off the prop here. How long it takes to get settled in. Okay, oh. So things I'm definitely noticing are the balance, and the MTR is a comfortable gun to me. I've got a lot of time behind it, but I'm feeling the distinct lack of weight here in the rifle. Off left, let's send one more. There we go. All right. All right, let me send the sighter down here, see about where we're at. Okay, looks pretty good. And I'm gonna be devil's advocate here against a full-on custom gun like this, whether it be a Remington 700 or not. In about a month, we're probably gonna do another video with that MTR where we put on just a barrel. So we're just upgrading the barrel. Basically, we're leaving everything else the same. We're gonna see if we can get more weight on that, get it to balance better, and to hang with something like this. So, you know, there's a lot of creature comforts you get when you're spending the money. And a lot of them, like I said, you can't exactly just look at in terms of accuracy, because as you saw there, the MTR did hold its own shooting this lot of ammo. Now, if I test 10 different kites of ammo, then, you know, chances are this gun is going to agree with a heck of a lot more than the MTR. And as far as shootability on a prop, even on the bench, this gun wins hands down. So you're getting multiple things when you step up to a custom gun. You're getting more shootability via better balance, better weight. And look, if you can do it on the cheap, if you can find out ways to make your production, your factory gun, just way more without making it, you know, wonky or weird, then that's really the answer. That's what the chassis systems are kind of allowing you to do. A simple way to achieve a great balance by adding a lot of weight in places you need it, a lot of adjustability to get you as comfortable as humanly possible behind the gun, to let the gun do most of the work. The custom barrel spun up by whoever is going to be way more likely to like a lot more different kinds of ammo. You're going to see an uptick in accuracy across the board, or at least you should, if you got a good quality gunsmith and a good quality barrel versus out of a factory barrel. Outside of that, you can probably do a lot of this on your own, but I'm telling you, to buy something like a chassis like this and just have something that balances really well out the gate, you know, sometimes this is the better, easier way to go. It's gonna give you all the options. I also know there's a lot of you guys out there with an MTR or a Tikka T1X or a factory-ish rifle, and you're debating, what do I need to get to that next step? And honestly, the answer is weight. If you can do it without buying a chassis, go ahead. If your barrel isn't shooting your ammo or the available ammo really well, then the answer may be just to rebarrel it. Get something with a bigger profile, longer barrel. That's going to help balance this. This 20-inch MTR match barrel is just not very big and not long enough to really balance this, although it does shoot really well. As you can see, as soon as I start letting go, this thing's gone. It just wants to drop right out of the way. So this isn't gonna be the easiest thing to shoot off of props. Now, if you're shooting just off the bench, yeah, this isn't gonna be a big difference from the other one over there, assuming that both of these barrels shoot the same. But that extra weight is going to make it easier even to shoot off the bench. A heavier rifle, because you're not getting movement input off of little tiny movements from you, even down to like your heartbeat. So it's gonna be a more stable, easier to shoot gun. And at the end of the day, you know, we can play with ammo and barrels so much that's an expensive game. Sometimes the bigger and better gains are by just making the rifle more shootable, and that can be expensive, as seen here. If you want the best of the best, then, you know, go buy a chassis and set one up and go compete. But if you're just looking to do this at home and you just want to make your system more accurate, strap weights to whatever you got, however you can. You know, make sure it's safe, but adding weight's going to do a lot for you. I appreciate you guys watching. Catch you on the next one.